Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope halfway there. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. So today, I kind of want to talk about the concept of leaving things better than the way you found it. Um, I'm a firm believer in any place that I work. Regardless of how small of an impact, I don't want to just leave things the way they are. I like to, and it doesn't always sometimes rubs people the wrong way, but you know, really going in and kind of, sometimes being like a disruptor, the status quo doesn't always need to be the status quo. I have a shirt on, actually, fun fact for a couple of people who've seen the shirt. It says, "Be the ripple that created the wave." This shirt, a lot of people get pissed off about it because, the moon and how waves actually work. But it's a good thing to think of, right? Like your small change is just a ripple in the effect that everything that things can have. You trying to make one thing better where you are and trying to make it a better place. Whether it be just in general or before you leave. Like for me, I try to make it a constant thing while I'm in a workplace. Is that I'm like if I left tomorrow, will I have left this place better than what it was when I got here? And, I think that's an important thing to take note of because, I look at when, any workplace I've ever worked at and like when I started and I look, and once I've kind of got the knowledge of and trained up, I've been there for a bit or whatever, I start to realize I'm like, when new people are coming in, I'm like, what would I have wanted, and that's like a big one that I use, I guess, is like, what would I have wanted to make the sort of transition and like the sort of starting at this job easier? What would I have, like, what resources would I have wanted? What, tools would I have needed to make it an even better experience and a better time? So I was able to perform better or get, up and running easier. It doesn't have to be big things, like for me at my last job, I did lots of training stuff. I clarified and I helped a lot of new people as they came up. When I eventually got to like my tier 2 position, I then made it my goal to help all those who were trying to get to where I wanted to go, to sort of try to get there. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't always have to be big things. I mean, as simple as just paying it forward. I think I mentioned this before, is that, you work together, you find a group of people to surround yourself with that want to be just as successful as you. You surround yourself with those people, and then you work to make each other better, so that you make your job to make sure that somebody else in your group of people you surround with yourself, make sure one of them gets it. And that mentality is so powerful that you guys are all working towards the same goal. I think like everyone's competitive, when they're, gunning for a job, but like, when you're working at it with a group of people, and you're all working towards the same goal, you're all elevating each other, you're all sharing, all the experiences, the knowledge, the resources, all that, sharing that with each other. And, if you all go for that same job when it comes up and one of the other people gets it, you don't really like, I don't know. I used to always be like, oh, why would I want to help somebody else get it? But you know what? Truth be told, when you see that other person get it, it's, you're like, I wish it was me. But, like at the same time, you look and you're like, you know what though? That person deserved it, and that if anything, that shows that you did your job, right? But like the bigger thing is those that, like it's like you grow together and you win together, so like that was something that, there was a group of us in my last job, we're all working towards the same thing. And it was like when one of us got the promotion, it was like, some people were like, other people who weren't really super invested in the process were kind of, oh yeah, congratulations. But it's like, I was stoked. I was like, yeah, man, congratulations. And, like, I remember there was a buddy of mine named Rory, and he got the position before me. We both started really around the same time. He had done a lot more work than I had, for sure. But like when I saw him get it, I was like, man, fucking congratulations, dude. Shook his hand and he says, hey man, you know what? Thanks, and you just know the next one's you, dude. And that to me, that in itself was just like, did so much for me. And the fact that I'm like, yeah, you know what, he's right. Like, it didn't let me be down about it. It just kept me pushing forward. And, I started to, I started to believe it, even maybe if it wasn't like 100% true, like, or, maybe even he, for all I know, maybe even didn't even really think that it was good. The next one's going to be me. But, I started to believe it, and I started to tell myself that. And, like, I'd be like, all right, people around me would be like, yeah, the next one's me. And they'd be like, yeah, okay. And I mean, eventually I proved a lot of those people wrong. But yeah, it's important to always, really strive for that, though. Making anything you do, or any place that you work, any place that you go, leaving it better than the way you found it, just makes it better for the other people. Inky Johnson talks about how that was one of the most powerful things that he read was on an airplane, where it said, it's common courtesy to the person coming behind you, wash the sink out clean better than you found it. And, like, he broke generational curses where he was. He went to college, from a high school that had a dropout rate higher than the graduation rate, and he said it wasn't so much the fact that, I went to college. That wasn't the best part. But it was like, his cousins and like generations behind him went to college, and, like, that changed. And that's a super huge thing that, a lot of times people feel sort of doomed by their situation or what, different circumstances. But, like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, there's times in my life, where I'm like, yeah, this is like, this is a real shit situation. Like, I feel kind of like I'm in a hopeless situation, like, whether it be, like financial or whatnot. And like, I'm like, I could just give up. And, I look at myself, and that's, to be honest, it sounds weird, but that's one of the first things I tell myself. I'm like, I could give up. And, it sounds dumb and kind of counterproductive to everything that I do. But I say that, and then I kind of look, I'm like, that'd be easy. That'd be the easy thing. What if I dare to be different? What if I dare to take on this challenge and keep working at it and everything else? And, that, just the excitement of being like, yeah, this is a new challenge. I like it sucks right now, but like, when I make it, it's going to be that much sweeter and that much better. So, I mean, that's just a real powerful kind of thing, I think. So, anyways, I think that does it for me today. Like I said, I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Finish the week strong. If you haven't already, like my YouTube channel, or subscribe to my YouTube channel, rather, like my Facebook page. I got updates there like almost every day. Sundays I usually don't. Sometimes Saturdays I don't, but for the most part it's every other day. But yeah. And again, if you guys have suggestions or feedback or anything, like, I'd love to hear it. I'm always looking for ways to make this better. So have a great day, guys. Stay strong.